Trap City Rob wasn't going down without a fight. He had vowed to kill Lil Jeff while defending his hood. But Lil Jeff's killer took things even further, sharing his last recordings of the murder and even posting a picture to prove the mission was complete. This left many wondering, was the beef between them pre-planned, or did it happen by chance? Trap City Rob shares footage of Lil Jeff's murder in the late hours of June 8, 2024. Multiple videos and photos surfaced online, capturing the moment. Chicago drill rapper Lil Jeff was shot to death in the brutal aftermath. Although these clips were shared across various social media platforms by different people, no one initially knew their source. However, just a few days later, it became clear that the footage was shared by Trap City gang member Robert Coleman, aka iTrap Rob or Trap City Rob. At the same time, the internet went wild with speculation that Rob was the one who pulled the trigger. One of the videos actually captures the moment Lil Jeff was killed, showing him desperately chasing and shooting at a man wearing yellow shorts. It's unclear how many times the man was hit, but the video shows him running into a building, with Lil Jeff close behind. Just as Lil Jeff reaches the front door, multiple gunshots erupt from inside the building, sending him crashing down the steps onto the front porch. The first clip cuts off here, and due to the camera angle, Lil Jeff's killer isn't visible. The execution of Lil Jeff, according to reports, after Lil Jeff fell to the ground, his killer stepped out of the building, stood over him, and fired multiple shots at point-blank range. A second video taken from a different angle captures this chilling moment, showing the shooter standing over Lil Jeff, unloading his magazine into him. Meanwhile, two of Lil Jeff's homies, one in an all-black outfit and another in pink, begin firing shots toward the building. At some point, the man in pink, later identified as Lil Jeff's cousin, Q50, is seen shooting at a passing car. Moments later, both men flee the scene, with Q50 noticeably limping, suggesting he was hit during the brief gunfight. Just before they escape, the camera shows the car's driver stepping out for a final glance at Lil Jeff's lifeless body. Realizing it's too late to save him, the driver rushes back into the vehicle and speeds off. The aftermath: 19 gunshots and a fatal escape. According to police scanner recordings, Q50 and the others circled back to the scene later. A neighbor spotted them returning to carry Lil Jeff's bullet-riddled body from the front porch. This was confirmed by a leaked photo showing Q50 and the man in black carrying Lil Jeff's lifeless body into their vehicle. They rushed him to the University of Chicago Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. The police incident report confirmed that Lil Jeff suffered 19 gunshot wounds during the attack. A video of the aftermath shows police cordoning off the area, marking bullet casings scattered across the floor. In total, 58 shell casings were recovered, evidence of the brutal street war that had just unfolded. Trap City Rob's connection and viral fame days after the shooting. Internet users dug up an old video of Trap City Rob sitting on the same front porch where Lil Jeff was killed. The building quickly became infamous within the drill rap scene, with fans tracking down its address and even visiting the site. A month later, Rob confirmed in an interview that the building belonged to his grandmother, and that he had lived there for some time. By then, he had already become an internet sensation, with fans on Reddit dubbing him Defensive Player of the Year, a nod to how he defended his block from Lil Jeff and his Bloodhound crew. It didn't take long for Rob's newfound fame to boost his rap career. Barely a month after being identified as a possible shooter in Lil Jeff's murder case, one of his old tracks unexpectedly blew up online. His song, What a Feeling, originally released in July 2020, suddenly went viral on Reddit, gaining massive attention that it never received before. But once people started believing he was the one who killed Lil Jeff, there was a spike in interest in everything related to Rob, from his music to his brand. Less than a week after Rob was identified as a person of interest in the Lil Jeff shooting, the views on his song jumped to over 10,000, and the YouTube upload was flooded with comments referencing his involvement in the murder. As time passed, the hero worship of Trap City Rob led a group of fans to create a Reddit community on June 28, 2024, to rival the one made by Lil Jeff's supporters. In the months that followed, the Reddit community, known as Trap City Gang, grew in numbers and worked to solidify Trap City Rob as a key figure in the Chicago drill rap scene. However, the community also tried to twist the narrative surrounding Rob's role in Lil Jeff's death. As it became more likely that Rob might face legal consequences, his fans began arguing that there was no solid evidence linking him to the crime scene all in a desperate attempt to prevent his prosecution. In fact, any Reddit user who shared theories supporting the claim that Rob was Lil Jeff's killer was quickly shut down by his loyal followers. However, the argument that Rob wasn't at the crime scene was quickly disproven when it was revealed that he had been living in the house where Lil Jeff was murdered. In a July 2024 interview, Rob even hinted at being present when the shooting occurred. When asked if there was anything he wanted to clear up about the case and the social media drama, Rob responded, "I saw the videos and I was like, damn, it's out there, you know?" Despite fans' efforts to change the narrative, Rob was arrested late last year in connection with Lil Jeff's murder. More importantly, court documents from his arrest revealed that an eyewitness had placed him at the scene. The documents also showed that Trap City Rob was initially charged with first-degree murder. However, the charge was later dropped, and he was instead charged with unlawful possession of a handgun. Even though the police investigation confirmed that Rob was involved in the shooting, they couldn't gather enough evidence to prove he was the one who pulled the trigger. While many fans celebrated the murder charge being dropped, some Reddit users were still upset about the police charging Rob with being an armed habitual criminal. Defending Rob's right to self-defense, one Reddit user commented, "So the Lil Jeff situation proves that having a gun is necessary for survival. But it doesn't matter. The options are either die or save yourself and spend years in prison." Another person wrote, "I don't think he should be charged anyway. He defended himself and that's all that matters. He wasn't hurting anybody. The DA is just power hungry." Meanwhile, a third person took a different stance, saying, "This is why you should own a gun legally. Buy it from a store and get a license first. Then you won't have to worry about jail time." While fans continued arguing Rob's innocence, he was subtly hinting online that he was, in fact, the killer, and that Lil Jeff was just another casualty of the ongoing street war between Trap City and Drill City, also known as the Bloodhounds. In a recently surfaced video, Trap City Rob was seen brutally dissing Lil Jeff and the Bloodhounds. In the clip, he's in a dimly lit studio, delivering harsh lyrics aimed at his enemies. "Don't fall, you better not trip talking about sliding, I just watched him slip. This ain't a game, better get a grip." Rob's diss track dropped months after several Trap City members took to the streets to celebrate Lil Jeff's death. In a separate clip, Rob and other gang members can be seen debating whether to visit the front porch where Lil Jeff was killed. At one point, someone asks, "Why y'all don't want to go to the porch?" Moments later, the group walks through the streets before arriving at the house. When they reach the location, Trap City Rob mocks Lil Jeff by mimicking how he ran toward the building before getting shot. Another Trap City member takes it even further by playfully demonstrating how Lil Jeff collapsed on the front porch. The blatant disrespect from Trap City didn't sit well with Lil Jeff's father, Jeffrey Harris. He took to Facebook to issue a warning, writing, "And to let it be known, y'all didn't get him. He came trying to get y'all. And what happened? Happened." But the saga continues. Clear the streets. His message was clear. There was no end in sight for the gang feud that claimed his son's life. While his pain is understandable, some believe that Lil Jeff got what was coming to him. After all, he was the one who started the conflict in the first place. The never-ending war, Drill City versus Trap City. The Bloodhounds, also known as Drill City, are an African-American teenage street gang that primarily operates in Chicago, between 79th Street and Maryland Avenue. The gang is notorious for robberies and shootings, often bragging about their crimes in their music, which has given them a controversial reputation. On the other side is Trap City, a set of mainly gangster disciples based around 67th and Champlain. The two gangs were once allies, but a series of events completely destroyed their relationship. You may have seen the video of Lil Jeff's murder, but that's just part of the story. What many don't know is that on the day of the shooting, Lil Jeff traveled deep into Trap City territory with the intent to kill a Trap City member. Even when his target ran into a building, Lil Jeff didn't hesitate. He didn't wait for backup, nor did he consider the risks. He rushed inside without thinking about what could be waiting for him on the other side of the door. Many believe Lil Jeff underestimated his enemies and paid the ultimate price. But this wasn't the first time he made that mistake. Back in early 2023, Lil Jeff planted the seeds of a war that would later erupt into a full-blown street conflict. It all started when he stole a chain from a Trap City member. While some find it hard to believe that such a deadly feud began over something so trivial, Trap City Rob and Trap City Taro confirmed the story during a July 2024 interview. Rob explained, "He stole the chain, bro. We tried. Stole my own chain." Just as when Lil Jeff was killed, Trap City responded to the disrespect with bloodshed. On March 16, 2023, 22-year-old Zaire Nelson, aka Z Money, was gunned down. Nelson was Lil Jeff's cousin and had strong ties to the Bloodhounds. Unsurprisingly, the Bloodhounds took his death personally and declared war on Trap City, with none other than Lil Jeff leading the charge. Shortly after Nelson's murder, Trap City struck again, launching another attack on the Bloodhounds. That saw another of Lil Jeff's cousins, Q50, get hit. Q50 and Lil Jeff later rapped about this incident in a video they both shared on Instagram. In the video, Q50 starts rapping, "Shot me in my leg. Next month, I shot his throat." Lil Jeff then adds, "They shot my cousin but ain't kill him. For weeks straight we was spinning, but the only difference is when she got caught, we killed him." In the video, both Q50 and Lil Jeff rap about killing someone in retaliation for the attempt on Q50's life. A clear look at the timeline reveals they were referring to the murder of 19-year-old Jel Al Goens. Goens, known as Leal within Trap City circles, was brutally shot and killed on June 25, 2023, while sitting in a rideshare. The shooting was allegedly carried out by Lil Jeff in retaliation for Nelson's murder. The incident happened around 8:55 p.m. in the 1300 block of West Taylor Street. Police reported that Leal was sitting in the back seat of the rideshare when someone approached the car window and fired multiple shots before running off. Although the rideshare driver reacted quickly and rushed him to Rush Medical Center, the 19-year-old still succumbed to his injuries. While recounting the ordeal, Smith told the Sun-Times, "I tried to save him. I didn't care about traffic lights or speed cameras. I really wanted him to survive. I was praying for him the whole way there. When they took him out of the car, I was praying for the surgeons to do what they could." No one was ever charged for Goens' murder, and law enforcement later classified it as an unsolved case. However, soon after the shooting, Lil Jeff seemingly took credit for the attack when he posted on Instagram, taking a dig at Goens and Trap City. In the video, Jeff can be heard saying, "Go ask my ops that my Drac will get you out that car," while flashing a gun at the camera. Lil Jeff didn't stop the trolling there. He even took it a step further on social media. First, he mocked Trap City Taro while he was mourning Goens' death. Taro had posted a tribute on Facebook with a photo of him and Goens captioned, "I wish I could get him back." As fans and friends reacted, Lil Jeff seized the opportunity to taunt his rivals by dropping a care emoji on the post. Everyone understood that Jeff was shading Trap City, but he wasn't done. In another Instagram Live, Jeff mocked Goens' death by reenacting how the murder happened. In the video, Lil Jeff sneaks up behind a white car at a gas station, mimicking the police report about Goens' shooting. He makes his hand into the shape of a gun and acts like he's firing through the car window. Many saw this as not just disrespectful, but a subtle way of hinting that he was behind the attack. At this point, Trap City and Drill City were even on the murder scoreboard, but Lil Jeff still wanted more blood. About 2 months later, Jeff and Q50 set up another ambush for Trap City member Glenn. The shooting happened on August 31, 2024, and ended with Glenn barely surviving after being shot 15 times. Q50 later rapped about the incident, claiming he shot Glenn 10 times while Jeff added another 5. After this, the violence between the two gangs seemed to die down, but behind the scenes, Lil Jeff and his crew still had their eyes on Glenn. More than 6 months after their failed attempt, Lil Jeff led his group deep into Trap City territory for another shot at Glenn. According to sources, Glenn was the man in the yellow shorts that Lil Jeff tried to kill before he was allegedly taken down by Rob. While it seemed Glenn had 9 lives, this incident confirmed one thing: Lil Jeff was a ruthless killer with an insatiable thirst for violence. But Jeff wasn't just killing for fun, he was also allegedly taking paid hits. Many stories surround Lil Jeff, but one of the most chilling was the claim that he carried out contract killings. These weren't just rumors from fans. Lil Jeff himself often rapped about doing paid hits. In an October 2024 interview with DJ Vlad, British YouTuber Traplore, Ross discussed the violent lifestyles of Lil Jeff and Q50. He pointed out how Jeff claimed to have a double-digit body count. Ross also mentioned that Q50 had bragged about having 8 kills and questioned how he was still free, despite openly admitting to these crimes in his lyrics. Ross said, "They're talking so openly about what they did, it's actually insane. So much of it is getting caught on camera. And what's even crazier is that Jeff and Q50 were allegedly doing hits for money in another city." Ross highlighted how there were many lyrics where Lil Jeff and Q50 talked about taking paid hits in Milwaukee. Fans theorized that the duo might have been responsible for a triple homicide in Milwaukee, coinciding with when they began rapping about doing hits for cash. Ross referenced a Reddit theory about a triple homicide in Milwaukee where people speculated that Jeff and Q50 were paid to kill one man but ended up killing 3. There's a bunch of lyrics where Jeff and Q50 rap about their first hit being a 2-for-1, or how they were doing hits for change in Milwaukee, Ross said. The Milwaukee murders happened on March 27, 2022. The victims, 26-year-old Anthony Thompson, 39-year-old Tiaris McKinn, and 52-year-old Clarence Harris, were executed inside an apartment near 54th and Mill Road. The crime took place around 2 a.m. Detective Tim Keller stated, "2 of the victims were siblings. A mother lost 2 sons that day, and that's incredibly hard. It's one thing to lose one family member to violence, but 2? That's devastating." Keller called for public assistance, stating, "There's no excuse for this. These killers are dangerous, and we need help solving this case." While the murders remain unsolved, fans believe police may be looking in the wrong places. Although Lil Jeff and Q50 avoided using names in their lyrics, the details made it clear what they were referring to. This is why Ross called them the kings of self-snitching. During the same interview, Ross revealed that Q50 once posted on Facebook about getting another body and even updated fans on his body count. Right before Lil Jeff was killed, he went live on Instagram, announcing he was up another one and now had 11 kills. Interestingly, this self-snitching is what made Lil Jeff famous in the first place. His 2024 hit track, Ah, seemingly claimed responsibility for the murders of 2 teenagers outside their high school. On January 26, 2024, 17-year-old Tio Williams, aka Monty, and 16-year-old Robert Boston, aka Lil Rob, were shot and killed by masked gunmen outside Innovations High School. The attack happened around 12:30 p.m. when multiple shooters jumped out of 2 vehicles and opened fire on a group of students. A viral video captured the suspects pulling up, running toward the victims, and shooting before fleeing. Both teenagers were shot in the chest, and Monty was also hit in the hip. A second video surfaced showing the aftermath, with classmates surrounding the victims. One of the boys could be heard screaming, "Ah!" and Jeff used this in his song. "Ah!" he rapped. "You wouldn't believe what I did. No, He was screaming "ah" when he got hit. Lil Jeff released the track on February 16, 2024, just a month after the shooting. While police were still searching for clues, the song put Jeff in the spotlight and made him their top suspect. On January 29, 2025, police arrested the first suspect, Tommy Coleman, aka T-Slick. He was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and other related charges. The second suspect, James Allison, aka J-Mo, was arrested a week later in Indiana. While T-Slick and J-Mo faced serious charges, some fans believed Lil Jeff got the easy way out when he was killed just 5 months after the double homicide.